Summer with Designer DIY, and this instructional video is to go along with our Style A wreath kits. Now, I am doing a red and black Valentine's Day wreath. Yours might be patriotic or everyday or Christmas, and that doesn't really matter. All of our techniques are the same, and we all have the same amount of materials. So what you want to get out of your kit first are your 2 bolts of mesh. What you're going to do with these is you're going to cut them into 10-inch pieces. They don't have to be exactly 10, they don't need to be straight. Just go ahead and cut 10-inch pieces, and you're going to need 27 pieces of each color. If you need more or less at the end, because each wreath is kind of different, you can always cut more. But start with 27 pieces of each. Once you have those cut, you're going to take out your ribbon. Now for Style A, you have a front ribbon bag and a back ribbon bag. You want to cut your ribbons into 12-inch pieces, which is different than our mesh. And as you open your kits, in our front kits, you'll notice that they're rolled into different groupings, and your grouping may have 3 or 4 different ribbons. You're just going to cut them into 12 inches, but you want to keep your groups together. So once you've cut them all in this group, you just put them aside and then cut the next group and whatever. You will notice that your front ribbons groupings will have a different amount of ribbon than your back ribbons. It doesn't matter. Your backs will have 2 to 3 ribbons. You just want to keep them in their groups and 12-inch pieces. You should end up with 3 pieces of each ribbon of your fronts and 5 pieces of each of the back. Once you've cut all your ribbon, you're going to put fray check on it, which also comes in your kit. And if you've never used fray check, you're going to love it. So what you do, directions on how to open it and everything are in the written directions. This is just kind of a quick overview of those written directions in your kit. But what you do is every piece of ribbon that you cut, you're just going to take the fray check and run it along the edges. Do not do your mesh. It's only for ribbon. If your mesh is fraying a lot and it bothers you and you have some extra time, you can use a wood cutting tool and it will cut it. The metallic mesh does fray more than the fabric or burlap, but they're all different. So the fraying, the way we do it, you don't usually see the fraying, so it doesn't matter. But if you'd like to, you can burn them. Once everything is cut and your ribbon is fray checked, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pieces of one color of the mesh and you're going to roll it into these loose tubes. You don't want to make them into these tight little things because then your wreath won't be very full. You're just going to roll it into loose tubes like this, kind of the way they already are. You just want to make sure they're straight. And the 2 colors that are the same, you make an X with. Then grab 1 piece of the other color, whatever it might be, and you're going to lay it right on top like a star. See how my thumb is sideways? And it's just going to go up just like that. Then I took all of the pine on my pre-wired wreath because your kit includes a wreath like this, whatever color matches your wreath. And I just opened my pine into little things like that. You're going to lay your mesh sideways. You don't want it up and down. When they go sideways, they're going to hit each other and it really fills in the wreath better. So I just put it in and then I take my pine once nice and tight and then a single twist around. That's it. Don't keep twisting because we're going to use these later. But that's all you're going to do. Now for the next group, we're going to take 2 of the other color of mesh. So for me, it's going to be black. So I'm going to roll it into their little loose tubes. Just kind of straighten it, make my X, and then I'll pick the other color and this one. So you see, you alternate. So it'll be, mine are 2 red, 1 black, 2 black, 1 red, and that's all you do all the way around the back of the wreath. What we're working on first is the back bigger circle, and we're just going to ignore these top inner circles for now. So I put it in, and I cross and twist, okay? So I'm gonna alternate again. Now it's 2 of the other color. So I'm gonna do 2, roll them, and then this one goes right on top. Remember, go sideways, not up and down. You want your mesh to hit each other. So I'm just gonna go like that and twist. The trickiest part is remembering which combination of colors you just did. Now, nothing is exact about these wreaths. That's what makes them so wonderfully simple. And once it's all done, you'll never know if you made a mistake, if you put one wrong color. No big a deal. So I'm gonna do this, and remember just the back first. Because once we get the back done, we're going to put in a few ribbons into the back wreath. We have a few different style kits, but our A kit is this roll technique, is what we call it, to roll the mesh. and it has a front and back ribbon. So if you buy some other kits from us, which we hope you do because they're so easy and wonderful, you'll notice that they're kind of a different technique or different amounts of stuff. Oh, too black, so this one's gonna be too red. Now see, you don't have to be exact and try to make them all the exact same shape. You can tell, you just go kind of quick and throw them together. All right, remember, don't over twist your pine because we're gonna need those later. I just have 2 more groups. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to go with your back ribbons. So when you cut your ribbons, make sure you remembered which one were your back and which one were your front. The back ones, in case you got them all mixed up, don't stress, stress-free zone here. You just remember your back ones will have more pieces of each ribbon, where your front ones have less ribbons, less of each piece. Like this, get your thing twisted. And 1 more group and then that's it. Okay, so now we have put the mesh in all of the back ring. See how it's on the bigger back ring, not the inner small ring. What you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 groups of back ribbons. So my 2 have 2 styles in each group. I'm going to separate them, but know that that's 1 group and this is 1 group. And what I do is from one of the groups, it doesn't matter which one you pick first, just one of them, you take your 2 ribbons and you make an X with them. And what I'm going to do here, I'll turn it this way so you can see better, right on top of the pine that we just did, don't untwist the pine or anything. You're just going to lay it right on top of the pine, sideways again, not up and down. And you're going to do the same thing you did with your pine. Tight and twist, and now we're done with them, so you can kind of tuck them back if you need. Then for the back circle rings, I kind of pull my ribbon out so it's going towards the edge because we're going to put a whole nother layer here and we don't want to block it. Now I'm going to pick from the other group of back ribbons, make my X. It doesn't matter which one goes on top. It can be your favorite one and it can always be on top, or next time I can alternate. It doesn't matter the order. All that matters is that it's always these 2 ribbons together. Just keep your grouping straight. That way, everything is really spread around your wreath evenly. You don't have like huge groupings of one color. We work really hard when we pick our ribbons to make sure the colors spread evenly and it doesn't look like big blotches of one color. So this is what you're going to do all the way around just the back part of your wreath. Remember, right on top of the pine. That's why we didn't want to twist it too much. If for some reason yours is too short and it just didn't twist enough, you can untwist it a little bit and just put it directly on the mesh and then retwist. There is no messing it up. Everything can be fixed or done a different way. So don't stress. Everything is easy. Put them in. Just alternating. I just kind of call them group A, group B, group A, group B, all the way around. Now when you buy your kit, most of the ribbons in there, we do sell by the bolt also on our site. So if you want to do like a coordinating bow or a coordinating garland or just cute packages, or you just want to add more ribbon, you can always go to our site and get cute new coordinating ribbons to add more. We also sell the mesh and all sorts of fun stuff. Twisting, and then remember, pull your ribbons out towards the edge. Okay, so I have 2 groups left. Then what we're going to do after this is we're going to put mesh on the top. Pull them out. And all of our ribbons are wired, which makes this so easy that you can put them exactly where you need your ribbons to go and they'll stay. Okay, all of my ribbons are done in the back of the wreath right on top of the mesh, and now we're gonna work on the inner small circle. What we're gonna do there, we opened our little pines, so they look like little alligator's teeth, up and down, going in and out. We're gonna go back to the same exact mesh technique, where you pick 2 of one color, it doesn't matter which color, but you're gonna pick 2 of one and 1 of the other, and remember, same thing we've been doing, make an X, and then 1 goes right on top. Put it in your pine, twist, twist, and that's it. Leave those for the ribbon. Now remember, our mesh is going sideways, not into the center of the wreath. Here, let's undo this so it's easier. All right, so I did 2 red that time, so now I'm gonna do 2 black. And then 1 red on top. Red, 1 black, golden twist. Remember, don't overthink these wreaths. They don't need to be exact any little bit. That top. And remember, the bigger your tubes, the fuller your circle will look, the fuller your wreath will look. So don't make them too tight. And they are handmade creations, so everyone is supposed to be unique. So if yours doesn't look like mine exactly, good. It's your creation, and every time you make one, it will look a little different. That's what's so wonderful about handmade items. No 2 are ever identical, and I love that. All right, 1 more group and that's it. Okay, so I must have lost my count once. So that's easy. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. You're just gonna take your mesh that you have left over and you're going to measure them. And look at how I cut. Not a straight thing. Nothing about this do I overthink. There we go. That looks 10-ish, kind of straight. And then I need some more of my red. Because I have 2 more prongs, so that means 3 of each color. Make my circles. Now some tubes will be bigger and some will be smaller depending where on the bolt they are. It doesn't matter. I just would try not to put all 3 small ones in one group. But see, so here are 2 red ones that I cut just now, so it's a little tighter, and I'll just put it with a bigger black. Doesn't need to be identical. And this one has 2 small blacks and 1 big red. Okay, so all of our mesh is in now. Now we're gonna take the ribbons that were labeled front ribbons. And what our front ribbons are is there will always be 3 groups, regardless of how many is in each group. So this one has 3 different ribbons. I'm always gonna keep that group together. So like the back, I'm gonna take 1 of each style. Now what I'm gonna do with these is just like what we did with the mesh, where you make an X and then 1 goes up and down. It doesn't matter, again, which one was on top. Next time I do this, I can put the stripe on top or whatever else. All that matters is that it's always these 3 together. So I have them together, and just like my mesh, I'm going to put it right on top of the pine, okay? That's what, these wreath bases are the trick to making easy wreaths. They won't slide, they won't anything. So I take the pine again, 1 tight, a single twist, and then I'm done with them, so I tuck them. Now the front ribbons, I'm not gonna pull all to the outside like I did the bottom layer, because I want them to fill. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do this so you can see a little better. Take each ribbon and fluff it so you can see every design, because that's what makes it so full. The fluffing is the trickiest part, but the most important part. You just wanna make sure every ribbon has its own spot. Okay, now I'm gonna take group B and take 1 of each of those. I'm gonna make my X, put 1 up and down in the middle, and then I'm gonna put it right next to the group that I just did. gonna find my pine. Now remember, if your pine was too tight, just untwist it a little bit. Put your ribbon in and then retwist. Now the fluffing, that is the trickiest part, I won't lie to you. But you wanna do that best part. So see, I'm gonna make this one go here, this one here. Oh, it's hiding my polka dot, so I'll move it over here. You wanna make sure that you see every single ribbon. Every pattern is so pretty. Now group C. I'm gonna take one of each ribbon, make my X, and then I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Your favorite ribbon can go on top, or you can just pick one and then alternate it next time. Push my pine in, make sure every ribbon has its own little home. Okay, so I did one of each group. Now I'm gonna go back to my front one. Make sure I have one of each style. Make my X. I love this new ribbon we just got that's on our site, so I'm always gonna put that one on top. But if you love all three equally, change it up so you can see them all differently. And just like our mesh, our ribbon is gonna go sideways, not in and out of our wreath. And then I tuck it, make sure it's not covering the group that was next to it. I really love every ribbon, so I want them all to be seen. Okay, then group 2. Last time I did this cute little black glitter one, but this time I want to do my polka dot on top. So I'll put that one on top. Find my pine, tight and twist. Oh, I'm sure every ribbon has a little home. Okay, that was group 2, so now I'm gonna go back to my group 3. And this is really all you do. This whole wreath to make it is just cut and twist. That is all it takes to make these really full, awesome wreaths. We try to pick great quality ribbon and mesh because I think that's what makes the wreaths look so pretty and makes it so easy. And now, I know our video was pretty quick, but the directions that come in your kit are more detailed and there are photos along with each step to help you understand it. All right, so sometimes what happens at the end is you have one group of ribbon left, usually happens. So what I like to do is I just pick my favorite 3 ribbons from the group and I'll put those together. Or you can just pick one group and put your others wherever you like. So when you have ribbons left over, don't panic, you didn't do anything wrong, just throw them in wherever. Easy peasy. All right, so look how fast we did that wreath. It's full, it's beautiful. Now a lot of our kits do include a sign or a pick or something. If you have a sign, you just use a little piece of twine or ribbon that came in your kit and you just attach it to the wreath. There's directions in your directions on how to do anything that was included. Thank you so much. Have fun crafting.